The small grocery store in the heart of Benton, Mississippi, smelled of fresh produce and freshly mopped floors, a blend of homey and utilitarian. Maya Bennett strolled down the aisles, her leather handbag resting on her shoulder as she picked up items for her mother. She had returned to her hometown after years of living in Chicago to help care for her mother, who had recently been diagnosed with a serious illness. Though Maya loved her family deeply, returning to Benton hadn't been easy. The town held memories of both warmth and struggle, a place where her father's legacy as a civil rights leader loomed large. As she reached for a can of soup, she noticed the sharp gaze of a woman behind the counter, a white woman with a severe bun and a name tag that read Donna. "Can I help you with something?" Maya asked, her voice calm but tinged with irritation. Donna stepped out from behind the counter, her hand hovering near the store phone. "I think you should stop right there," Donna said coldly. Maya frowned, confused. "Excuse me?" "I saw you put something in your bag," Donna accused, her voice rising. Maya froze, a surge of anger and disbelief washing over her. "I didn't steal anything," she said firmly. "We'll see about that," Donna snapped, grabbing the phone and dialing the police. By the time the police arrived, a small crowd had gathered in the parking lot. The humid Mississippi air was thick with tension as whispers rippled through the bystanders. Maya stood by her car, her arms crossed, her breathing measured. She had seen scenes like this play out far too often, on the news and in her own life. Two officers, both white, stepped out of their patrol car. The taller one, Officer Green, approached first, his expression cold and businesslike. "Ma'am, we've received a report that you were seen shoplifting," he said. Maya's jaw tightened. "That's not true," she said evenly. "I didn't steal anything. I'm an attorney, and I know my rights." The second officer, a stockier man with a short temper, stepped closer, his handcuffs already out. "Let's see your bag," he demanded. Maya handed over her bag, her movements deliberate. Inside, they found her wallet, keys, and a few personal items. No stolen goods. Officer Green's face didn't soften. "We're going to need to search you," he said. Maya's patience snapped. "This is absurd," she said. "I've done nothing wrong, and you know it." Before the situation could escalate further, a voice cut through the tension. "That's enough." All heads turned as Charles Bennett stepped forward, his commanding presence instantly silencing the murmurs. At 73, Charles was a towering figure in Benton. A lifetime of fighting for civil rights had earned him both respect and notoriety. His broad shoulders carried decades of struggle, and his gray hair framed a face that had seen both triumph and heartbreak. "You have no right to treat my daughter this way," Charles said, his voice low but filled with authority. The officers hesitated, recognizing the man who had once marched in protests that shaped Benton's history. "Sir, we're just following procedure," Officer Green said, his confidence wavering. Charles stepped closer, his gaze sharp. "Your procedure is flawed, and you know it. My daughter has done nothing wrong, and you have no grounds to detain her." Maya watched her father, her emotions a mix of relief and apprehension. She knew his presence would change the tide, but she also knew the risks of confronting authority. The officers exchanged uneasy glances before Officer Green reluctantly nodded. "Let her go," he muttered. As the officers retreated, the crowd began to disperse, though the tension lingered in the air. Many approached Charles to voice their support and outrage over what had happened. Maya stood silently, her emotions simmering beneath the surface. When the crowd thinned, Charles guided Maya to his car, an old but reliable Lincoln that had carried him to countless protests and meetings over the years. Once inside, the silence was heavy with unspoken words. "You did well back there," Charles said, breaking the silence. Maya shook her head. "I didn't do anything. You're the one who got them to back off." "You stood your ground," Charles replied. "That's not easy, especially in a situation like that." Maya stared out the window. "It shouldn't have happened in the first place," she said quietly. "I'm an attorney, for God's sake, I know the law. And yet—" Her voice trailed off, frustration tightening her chest. Charles reached over, placing a hand on her arm. "I know, baby girl. But this isn't just about you. It's about a system that's been broken for far too long. And every time something like this happens, it's a reminder of the work we still have to do." By the time they arrived home, the story had already begun to spread through Benton. Friends, family, and even local reporters called to ask what had happened. Charles, ever the strategist, wasted no time. "We need to get ahead of this," he told Maya over dinner. "The media's going to pick up the story, and we need to make sure they hear the truth." "What do you suggest?" Maya asked, though she already knew the answer. "A press conference," Charles said decisively. We tell our side of the story and make it clear that the police can't sweep this under the rug. Maya hesitated. A press conference? Dad, I don't know if I'm ready for that. Charles gave her a reassuring smile. I'll be with you every step of the way. But this is your fight too, Maya. You need to show them you're not just a victim, you're a fighter. The next morning, they stood on the steps of the Benton courthouse, a historic site that had witnessed many of Charles' battles for justice. Reporters and community members gathered, their faces a mixture of curiosity and support. Charles spoke first, his deep voice cutting through the murmurs. Yesterday, my daughter Maya Bennett was falsely accused and mistreated by the police, he began. This is not an isolated incident but a symptom of a much larger problem, a problem rooted in prejudice and systemic racism. When it was her turn, Maya stepped forward, her nerves steadying as she began to speak. My name is Maya Bennett, she said. I'm an attorney, a daughter, and a proud member of this community. Yesterday, I was accused of a crime I didn't commit because of the color of my skin. This isn't just about me, it's about a system that allows injustice to persist. We have the power to change that. Her words resonated deeply, sparking applause from the crowd. For the first time, Maya felt a sense of empowerment, a realization that she could take control of the narrative. In the weeks that followed, Maya and Charles took legal action against the police department and the grocery store. The case gained national attention, becoming a rallying cry for justice and accountability. During the trial, Maya's legal expertise shone. Security footage from the store revealed the truth: Maya had done nothing wrong, and the real culprit was another shopper. The jury delivered a resounding verdict in Maya's favor, holding the police department and the store accountable. Maya's victory was just the beginning. She opened a civil rights law firm in Benton, offering her services to those who couldn't afford representation. The community rallied around her, inspired by her determination to create meaningful change. Charles, though his health began to decline, remained her greatest supporter. One evening, as they sat on the porch, he took her hand and said, "You've made me proud, Maya. You're carrying on the fight, and you're doing it with grace and strength." Tears filled Maya's eyes. "I couldn't have done it without you, Dad." A few weeks later, Charles passed away peacefully. His funeral drew people from all walks of life, a testament to the impact he had made. Standing at his grave, Maya made a silent promise: she would continue his work, carrying his legacy forward. Maya Bennett became a beacon of hope in Benton, a tireless advocate for justice. Her father's legacy lived on through her, a reminder that the fight for equality requires strength, perseverance, and an unwavering commitment to what is right. The battle was far from over, but Maya knew she had the tools, the support, and the resolve to keep going. And as she stepped into her role as a leader, she knew that her father's spirit was with her, guiding her every step of the way. Thank you for joining us in hearing the powerful story of Maya and Charles Bennett, a story that highlights the resilience, courage, and unwavering fight for justice in the face of systemic injustice. This journey serves as a stark reminder that the battle for equality is far from over, but it also shows us the strength of community and the enduring power of legacy. Maya's fight was not just her own. It was a fight for everyone who has been silenced, wrongfully accused, or treated unfairly. And her father's wisdom reminds us that every step toward justice matters, no matter how small. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more stories of resilience, hope, and triumph. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you or someone you know ever faced a moment where standing up for what's right changed everything? Together, we can amplify stories like these and inspire change in our communities. Thank you for being here, and remember, when we stand together, no obstacle is insurmountable. See you next time, and take care.